We're going to go through, it's very detailed. In however much time we have, it's not one share, it's about 5 or 6 shares. But you are going to have Imit Hashem money when you get married. From the chasna, you're going to earn money. You have to be aware of Maisa Ksofim. Today will be introduction. Taking Maisa money. Up to now we've only been Kavor, Gemachim. Now we're going into the Tzedaka of actually giving over Maisa money. Yud Zayin. Raise your face. So you'll speak to Chelsea about anybody else at all for the Shabbos or for the trip and go. It's 2 weeks before point. Yud base. Here we go. What I'd like to do here is not to spend the whole share. I want to jump a little bit because there are inyanim tzedaka that you have to see how important it is to take Maisa money. And I'm going to do the part and the end of the payroll, and then go straight into the halacha, a lot of halacha. Payrik 18, Yud Ches, which is the next Payrik, Payrik Shmonasa. And that goes right into what you can use your Maisa money for, how much you have to take, what you can use the money for, who to give it to. And you're going to have money, Mitzvah Hashem, so you have to know how to handle your money. Very important. But this is an introduction to it. And this today is more in Hashkafa. Next week, Mitzvah Hashem will be more into Halacha, more in Yonim of Halacha. Page ratio base. Up till now we've spoken about the importance of chesed. Two different things. Chesed is one thing, tzedaka is another. What does he mean? He explains. The Gemara in Sukkah says, in some ways, 3 ways, chesed is greater than tzedaka. How? Tzedaka is only b'momayin, giving money. You can either use yourself or your money. That's chesed. Chesed with yourself. Momayin means in money, lending money out. Lending out items you have. That's also a chesed. Saying nice things. This is all chesed. So chesed is greater than tzedaka. Why? Because chesed you can use your money or you can use yourself. Chesed is greater than tzedaka. Number 2, tzedaka is only for aniyim, only for poor people. But gemilas chasodim bein aniyim bein ashirim. A chesed you can do to a rich person and a poor person. Number 3, tzedaka can only be done to someone who's alive, l'chaim. But gemilas chesed can be done l'chaim or l'meisim.
Tzedaka is for...
Tzedaka is only for... What's that? Chaim bein l'meisim. Chesed can be bein l'chaim bein l'meisim. With me?
Yeah.
Tzedaka is only for someone who is alive. Ladies, second part. Mikol mokoim. Nevertheless, tzorich sheyeda ha'odam. You must know. Shebekama devorim, in some ways, yesh tzedaka odif min chesed. The other way, in some capacity, tzedaka is greater than chesed. And we're going to get on to the point of taking Maisa money. Let's explain. Tzedaka, when you give tzedaka is given straight out. You give it. It's given and it's gone. It's only done for the time being. You get the money back. So you see that tzedaka is greater than chesed. Tzedaka is greater, and it's turning the other way around. In some ways, because when you give you get the money back. So it's not as great.
That's not necessarily chesed, that's only for a loan. For chesed, a lot of times you don't get it back.
Only you get it back. Oh no, you mean you can, yes. But there is in tzedaka an element that it's greater than chesed, because in tzedaka you give it and it's gone. But chesed could involve, you're right, could involve an aspect of getting it back.
Tzedaka doesn't. It's not really called chesed.
No. Well, yes it can. Of course
chesed to lend someone
You lend out your diamond necklace for a kala. The chesed, the vaday is a kala. Next. You need to have more willpower when it comes to tzedakah. There's more willpower in tzedakah. Why? Because you're giving up from your money. So you need more willpower. Because with chesed you get it back. According to the pain, so is the reward. In other words, you need to work on yourself. And therefore tzedakah is greater. Why you work on yourself? It's harder maybe in some ways to tzedakah. You're not going to get it back. I think somebody asked this question, but let's just explain now. What we said in the Gemara Shabbos. Do you remember we said that, Chazal? I think somebody asked a question on it. It's greater to lend an oni than it is to give him. So what's greater? Chesed is greater than tzedakah. Now that needs qualifying. Are you with me, ladies? It's greater to lend than to do tzedakah. So you said tzedakah is greater. In some ways it's greater to lend. Why? Look carefully. What does that mean, it's greater to lend an oni? Supposing somebody has had a collapse. And he has no money. But you now give him money to set him up in business again. In that case, a loan is better than a gift. The chesed of the loan is better than the gift. Why? He doesn't feel embarrassed. So there's an element of no shame when the loan to a businessman who's collapsed. Because he knows he has to give it back, so he's not so embarrassed.
But I wasn't talking about the tzedakah or the...
Correct. And now he's quiet. He said, but you'll come to me and you'll say to me, if the Maya tzedakah is greater than chesed, but we said previously, we said a few lessons ago, that chesed is greater because you set up a man's business, and the chesed is greater. Right? Because he's not embarrassed. So on one side, the chesed is greater than the tzedakah, because he's not embarrassed, because he's going to give the money back. You with me? No? You follow what I'm saying? Someone who is completely broke, and he now has to take tzedakah. In that way, tzedakah is greater than chesed. Do you understand, ladies? Again, I'll say it over again. Chofetz Chaim is saying like this. Again, I'll say it again. We just said giving a loan is greater. Why? You set up a man in business, help him out, you support him, give him a support. Why is it greater? He doesn't get embarrassed because he knows he gives the money back. So a man is not so embarrassed to borrow money and gives it back. However, that's only to a person who needs help just to push him through. But in some ways, tzedakah is even greater, says the Chofetz Chaim. Why? Because in terms of tzedakah, a person who's completely collapsed in business, who's got nothing left at all, that's even greater than that. So on the one hand, helping a man in business and giving him a loan, and he's not embarrassed, that's a great thing, he's not embarrassed. But you should know, there's a side that is even greater as well in tzedakah when it comes to completely helping him, and he's finished.
So it really depends on what the person...
Exactly, the needs are. Yeah? On the one hand, chesed is greater because you're giving it back and the man is not so embarrassed. On the other hand, the man who's really collapsed, then to help him more is even greater. I now want to jump. I don't want to go through all these. Yes?
What if someone knows that there's somebody that needs money and they're not going to be able to pay it back, they don't want to take money for stuff because they're embarrassed. So can you give them money and say I'll just lend this to you, so that way they'll take it, but then not really expect it back.
God on the oid. That's a very big.
But it might be very hard for the person now.
I'm only giving you a loan. It's okay. When you pay me back, you'll pay me back. You have in your mind to make it a gift. He has in mind to make it a halvor. What a beautiful thing.
Now he has to stress about you pay back.
No. You're telling him quite clearly. Listen, you'll pay me back
whenever you can.
Whenever you can.
He's a businessman, so he's going to get his money back.
No. He means a gift. He means tzedakah. It's a tremendous thing. He means tzedakah, but the receiver means a loan. And you're leaving the door open to take it back. Give it back, so he feels great. I can give it back. I don't feel like I'm receiving charity. It's a beautiful thing to do. Now, ladies, I want to jump a bit because I'd like to get onto Inyanim of Halach.
Does he have to do the tzedakah, or could you just do more and expect
Definitely. You're not mechuyev to give tzedakah. You're not mechuyev. You have to give tzedakah of Maisa money, but if you want to make a loan, you can make a loan and even just get that. Turn to page Reish Kof Aleph. I just want to give you what's called a push behind the back about the importance of chesed, of tzedakah. What's behind it all, giving tzedakah. I just want to lay the foundation, and then we'll get into the yonim of taking Maisa money. Gedoylot tzedakah. You have the paragraph there? Gedoylot tzedakah.
What page?
Page Reish Kof Aleph. And Chofetz Chaim now lists about 7 or 8 points. How is tzedakah important? Maybe just before we do all these things, when you come to a point in hashkafa, you have to let the point not just go in the mind intellectually, but you have to swallow up the point in hashkafa, and then it becomes part of your das. Why am I saying that? When we do all these things now, especially in all the classes which you have, don't just grow intellectually. It's not enough. Hopefully, if you have these points inside you, when the scene comes around of tzedakah, you'll have what's called das as to how to apply it. I mean, sometimes a person can rattle out chazals and knows points intellectually, but it's impossible to act on it. It's just an intellectual thought. It's a tremendous problem sometimes in school. I find with girls, they take notes, they know all the chazals, they know the points, they have it in their head, but they can't act on it. The das means knowing how to do it. Knowing how to do it. What do we ask in the morning? Chochma, Bina, and Das. What does it mean? Ato chaynin la'odom das. Melamed le'enosh Bina. Chaynin le'yitcho Chochma, Bina, v'das. No? Melamed le'enosh. Now, what does that bracha mean? As a bit of introduction, let's go off a little bit so you know how to take these points. What does that mean? What's the das there? You give people the knowledge how to do things. And a man understands how to do things. I'll tell you, an electrician. An electrician knows if you put this wire together with this wire, you have a current. That's called Bina. The das is being able to do it. Bina is understanding one thing from another. Das is application. That's for non-Jews. That's in the secular world. Chonenu meyitcho deo bina v'haskel. You, Hashem, give me through Torah and mitzvahs, dea, application, bina, understanding, and haskel is success. Haskel means successful logic. Haskel is successful logic. That's what Baruch Atah Hashem chaynein hadas. He gives you how to do things. The tachlis of all these chazals that you're learning here is to apply them into das, that you know how to apply them. Chochma is the facts. Bina is being able to select one from another. Das is application. So what I'm asking, when you learn all these chazals, don't let them stay as chochma. It's not enough. Chochma is not enough. Bina, if I would learn the chazal with you, you then understand another point because of what you've learned. Das is application. Okay, you just have to know how to learn sometimes in these points. You follow?
What's Haskell?
Successful reasoning, successful thought. A maskil is someone who successfully thought something out. Maskil leDavid, b'yosam b'am'ora tefillah. Translate.
What was it?
Maskil leDavid, b'yosam b'am'ora tefillah. What does that mean?
Successive talents.
Maskil leDavid. David successfully realized when he was in the cave, tefillah. But the best thing he can possibly do at such a time is tefillah. Maskil David v'Yosef Amora tefillah. He realized in such a situation with Shaul outside, with 3,000 soldiers, he has to daven. That's called successful logic. Okay, so these points which we're bringing out, don't just keep them as chokhmah. You know how to apply them as well. And when it comes up, you know what to do with the knowledge that you have. Okay, let's go on. Gedolah tzedakah shematzeles es ha'odam miderech hamisa. When a person gives tzedakah, he saves himself from misa. Shene'emar u'tzedakah tatzil mimoves. When a person does tzedakah, he has what's called a protection from death. There we are. Literally, being involved with tzedakah saves a person's life. The zchus of tzedakah. Boy ure'ei, come and see, sheba'midah she'odam moidei bo, moidedim loy. The quality that he gives to others, he gets back. Odam noisein tzedakah ba'olam hazeh. When a person gives tzedakah ba'olam hazeh, what's your intention? Umiskavein aleha sheyichye ha'oni v'lo yomos. And his intention is that the oni should live. Why are you giving tzedakah? That the oni should live. You should have food on the table. V'lo yomos. Af HaKadosh Baruch Hu miskavein al ha'noisro. There's the midah keneged midah. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu intends with the person who gives. Sheyichye v'lo yomos. Midah keneged midah. So
are those two things going together, the tzedakah tatzim mimaves and the midah she'adam modeh?
Definitely. How?
Because the way it's saving from death is he didn't intend that he is intending that this person should live, so therefore Hashem lets him live.
Exactly. That's the tzedakah. How does it work? Midah keneged midah. How do you know that a person who gives tzedakah ve'enoi oiseh shekol mi shesipek biyad lasot tzedakah, anybody who has the ability to give tzedakah and does not give tzedakah, lekayim nefashos ve'eno mekayim goyrem misa la'asmai. How do you know that a person who could give tzedakah and does not give money when he could? You learn it from novel. ולקחתי אסלח מאסמי מי ונסעתי לאנושים לא ידעתי ומיד נענש שנאמר ויגב השם את נובו ויומס. Who knows the Maisa? What's the Maisa with Novo?
He had a field, a karam, and he didn't give it over for the base of Mikdash?
No. That's Novos.
Oh.
Novo. What was Novo? Novo had sheep, had a whole tzayin, had a tremendous herd. And he needed help. No, Shmuel Aleph. And he needed help with the shearing. And David sent workers, 10 boys, to go and help Novel with the sheep shearing. No? What happened with the tzayim? What happened? And David said, don't forget to pay them and give them food. And Novel turned around and said, no way. Why should I pay these people? I owe them anything? Because David told me to do something, I have to pay them? I don't have to do what David said. Says the pasuk, "Vayigav Hashem es nova vayomos," and he died. He could have helped the people. He has to pay them back. It's a tzedakah. Not only the payment, but also to give them food. He wouldn't look after them at all. And David said, "Look after them. Do tzedakah with them," and he wouldn't. And he was a manuvel. That's where we get the word manuvel from. Novel. He was a manuvel, a disgusting person. People came and helped him, and he didn't give them food, didn't give them anything at all. And he had the end of the Perek, Shmuel Aleph Perek Kov Hei. Pasuk Lamed Ches, and he died. No, he could have helped. Midah keneged midah. You should write down in your notes, ladies. One of the most important principles of Hashgacha Pratis Ba'olam Hazeh is midah keneged midah. Where do we learn it from? Besides novel. Where's the main place? Main place that we learn midah keneged midah from? In the whole of the Torah. Sorry? Marcus before that. Just before that. The first Gilui Shechina of Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu. What was the first Gilui? Meaning, what was happened at the snare? Can we leave the door open a bit? What did Hashem say?
You can, like,
First
it consumes, it burns it without consuming it, the same as that.
No. Much more direct than that. Much more. No. Hashem said, I am Ekeyeh, Asher Ekeyeh. I will be what I will be. No, says the Ramban. I will be what you make me. First Gilui Shechina. First Nevuah told to Moshe Rabbeinu at the snare. Who are you? What's your name? What's your name that I should tell Klal Yisrael? No, you never done that?
Yeah.
Ramban said, Ekeyeh Asher, you're not supposed to say, you're supposed to say, it's Aleph Hey Yud. Shem Hashem is inside. Ekeyeh Asher Ekeyeh. I will be what I will be, says the Ramban, Rashi as well, and I think the Sipona as well. I will be what you make me. How you are, I will be. What's your name? My name is I will be what I will be. I will be what you make me. As you are, so I am.
What does that mean? It's
As you are, I will be. Ladies, make a note of it. You have to know this. Very basic principle of Hashgacha Pratis. Hashem Tzilucha Al Yad Yaminecha. Hashem is like a shadow of your acts. Hashem Tzilucha Al Yad Yaminecha. Hashgacha Pratis. Who got goose pimples over? Who got goose pimples? Who shivered all over? Come on. Who shivered all over when he realized Hashgacha Pratis? Wow, I never realized.
Are you asking in our class right now?
Not somebody in this class. I'm asking like someone in the Chumash. And oh my, look at that! And he shivered all over. No. Vayichad Yisroi. Why did Yisroi shiver and tremble? And he got goose pimples, says Rashi. Naaseh basar chidudim chidudim. What does that mean? Goose pimples. He shivered all over. Why? Oh, schloffing today. What's the matter with you? Come on.
Because he heard about the greatness of Hashem and the Yetzias Mitzrayim and the Kriyas Yamsuf.
Meaning, what happened to Kriyas Yamsuf?
Hashem revealed himself.
Who? What was the midah keneged midah?
The Bnei Israel stayed. The Bnei Israel were loyal to Hashem and therefore Hashem.
He was in the first plan. Eoy, Bilam, and Yisrael. When the pasuk says, "Hava nischak malai," let's deal with Chochma and Klal Yisrael. Said Bilam, throw them in the water. Said Eoy, kept quiet. Said Yisrael, ran away. He heard the plan. This was the plan. Ladies, this is the whole sitting in the Senate here. This is the secret talks of Paroi. Let's drown the Jewish boys and throw them in the water. Drown them. Now, he was there at the time. Listen a minute. This is like the advisor of Paroi. Throw them in the water. And they threw them in the water. And Yisrael ran away to Midian.
First he said no.
Who? Yeah, but then eventually he knew this was the master plan. This was the tactics of the government. Drown them. A few weeks later, they all drowned in the water. Once Yisrael made the connection, Rashi in the beginning of Parshas Yisrael, Naaseh basar chidudim, he trembled and shuddered. Wow, look at this enormous hashgacha. They planned to throw them in the water and they got drowned. Kriyas Yamsuf. That's the midah keneged midah. Midah keneged midah is one of the most powerful arrows in Hashem's quiver. That's what he shoots all the time. Midah keneged midah. And that's what the Chofetz Chaim is saying here. No? A person takes care. Why do you take care of somebody else's tzedakah? Why do you give tzedakah? To help him that he shouldn't die. Therefore, tzedakah tatzil mimovetz. That's the power of giving tzedakah. When you and your husband turn around and say, how much money we should give to tzedakah, don't you dare turn around and say, oh my dear husband, let's keep the money ourselves. Turn around and say, Chofetz Chaim says, tzedakah tatzil mimovetz, my dear husband. The more tzedakah you give, the more chayim you have. Yes.
That means that if a person is let's say doesn't listen to people, for example, and Hashem doesn't listen to them, like
that's exactly Chazal. Kol ha'oitim piv. Anybody who closes up his oizen, who closes up his ear to an oni, Hashem closes up his ear to him. Midah keneged midah. Definitely.
So then, what about the other Chazal say like Hashem listens to the tefillah, like how Hashem karov v'chal karov?
But this person has done something which blocks up the hashgacha.
So then, like Hashem karov v'chal karov is not is not.
Not if you have behind you the whole backing of ignoring other people. So it limits the response. Limits the response.
Right.
Okay? First point, midah keneged midah. You very tired, all of you today? You seem all very...
Are we usually more energetic?
Much more lively and energetic. Maybe you should open all the windows, no? You're all...
We're all like sick, I think.
You're not.
No.
I know, some Raise your hand if you're sick.
Come on, I'm going to push you further.
Okay, 4 of us.
Let's go. Next one, ladies. Come on. I would like to get into halacha already this week. I want to finish this pair and go to the next one. Quickly. Next one. Gedolat Tzedaka. Number 2. By the way, you should know a point. Everybody says the greatness of the Chavetz Chaim was... Anybody know the greatness of the Chavetz Chaim? One of the great points about the Chavetz Chaim was he always learned a chazal literally. He didn't just take it as a nice wording. Literally. He took the chazal literally. That was the gadlus of the Chavetz Chaim. And the Torah is literally. Not just a chokhmah, as the chazal is, he took applying it literally. Literally.
We learned that you're not supposed to apply it.
No, we learned that we always could. Because if you always learn it both ways.
I mean like das. That's what I mean, not chokhmah. I mean the das. The das application. Number 2. When a person takes off ma'isa money and gives tzedakah, he is marich yomim. Shenema ki hu chayecha v'oirech yomecha. That's only talking about every mitzvah. Pasuk in Devarim. Every mitzvah gives oirech yomim. Every mitzvah gives oirech yomim. Says the Chavetz Chaim, then if that's the case, harei kal v'chomer, then I can give you a kal v'chomer. What's the kal v'chomer? Uma mitzvah hakalo shebekalois shebatoiro mahu oimer bo leman yitav locha v'arachta yomim. We see by every single mitzvah that every mitzvah gives arichas yomim. Kal v'chomer l'tzedakah. Don't you follow the kal v'chomer? Shehi mitzvah chamura shebatoiro alachas kama v'kama. Ladies, what's the kal v'chomer? You were first.
That if every mitzvah gets a kal v'chomer, then a more, gets a arichas yomim, then a more strict mitzvah gets even more.
Not strict, no, something.
So more, you said
No, not stricter, but.
What is that? Marnie.
Mitzvah. Oh, you're right. It does say chamura. What is the chamura? What's the chamura? What is the chamura? What is the chamura? Giving out your money, spending your money for the mitzvah. So it's chamur because you have to spend money. Kol shekain you have arichas yomim. Halachas kama v'kama. Yeah, ladies, I'd like to do the footnote at the bottom. It's a very nice point about an old age home. Have a look at the footnote. V'hinei mikoroi nisyasei v'kama ayoros. Chavetz Chaim says in many cities they've set up a moshav zakenim, an old age home. Old people cannot make a parnasa anymore. So they bring them together in one place. And they look after them and give them all their needs. Until they finish their days. An old age home. It's a wonderful thing to say an old age home. A person brings someone into their house and gives them food, tremendous reward. When you make a home for old people, how much more so? If you don't have an old age home, many old people, old people, Hein misnavnim. Misnavnim means they degenerate. Old people very quickly. No one's looking after them. They get old and they die quickly if no one looks after them. You look after one Jew, you look after the whole world. I must tell you just a little bit. My father, Oliver Shalom, spent a tremendous amount of his time. He was like the Rav of old people in our city. There was a Moshav Zakenim, and he was like the Rav for them. He went there every single Shabbos, davened for them, sang for the old people, like his miros on Shabbos, made kiddush for them, gave him a shiur, and all his life he spent a tremendous amount of effort looking after the old people of the community. A tremendous thing to do. Yeah.
Last year I was in my chesed, and it's such a weird thing because like at the beginning I was so excited, but I don't know why I started hating it. Like I think it's maybe because it smelled bad. I really don't know why, but like it's such a hard thing, specifically that like my friend.
It is hard because you need. It's not like a baby has a bad smell.
Right, it's like.
So how come you can take a baby's bad smell? You can't take an old.
It was like. I really hated going there, and I was like, maybe it's not good to do it if I'm very resentful of it.
No, you shouldn't be resentful of it if you're doing it. If you're resentful, then maybe take another mitzvah. But you should know it's a weakness you have. It's a weakness. You have to be overcome it because everybody hopes to grow old and grey. Everybody hopes to be old.
But it's so weird,
person.
at the beginning I liked it. I thought it was fun. And
It's not. It's a tremendous. All the pain that a person has out of a little baby. Baby can't walk. Baby has a smell. Baby can't talk. Baby can't do anything. Needs feeding. All those things are actually the same with an old person. No. But old person. No, but why? It's just no difference really. Baby, an old person has a smell. An old person can't walk. Old person can't feed themselves. What's the difference between them? Both. Because one is at one end of the scale, one at the other. It's tragic. No. A little baby is the same as an old person as well. I realize how much help a person needs when they get old as well. Patience, tremendous patience you need with old people. My father, in this old age home, what he used to do, it was situated in the part of the city, a wealthy part of the city, and all the Yidden, we went down Shabbos morning, all went to work on Shabbos morning. The Yidden went to work, and the old people in the old age home. So my father got together the children of the people who went to work and brought them into the old age home and davened with them on Shabbos morning. So he had the most incredible setup, little kids and old people in the shul. He brought in all the little children, parents had gone to work, and the old people were there as well. So he made a minyan of very old people, very young people in the same place. Beautiful thing to do. Yeah, it's a big source to help to old people. No, to be Mekayim. Next one. Gedolat Tzedaka. I'd like to finish these few more and then we'll go into the halacha. Gedolat Tzedaka. She mevias adam l'chayo olam haba. Giving Maisa money, giving Tzedaka money brings a person to olam haba. Shneema Ashrei hoish asher lo halach b'atzas v'shoim. Shneema Ashrei sheimei mishpat oiset Tzedaka b'choleis. Shneema Ashrei b'Torah. It says Ashrei in Torah. And it says Ashrei in Tzedaka. Both say the word Ashrei. You know the word Ashrei? Yes, here it says it. Ashrei Shemrei Mishpat Tzedaka, that's Tzedaka. And also it says Ashrei Yesh Asher Alach B'Atzas V'Shoim. The word Ashrei as well. Ashrei B'Torah, V'Ashrei in Tzedaka. Ma Ashrei Ha'amu B'Torah means Olam Haba. Similarly, Ashrei in Tzedaka means Olam Haba. First word in Tehillim. Ashrei there means Olam Haba. Fortunate, happy, successful is the person who gets to Olam Haba. Similarly, a person who's Osek in Tzedaka. Ashrei in both. Next one. Gedolat Tzedaka sheshavsa laTorah. The person who gives Tzedaka is equal to learning Torah. Why? It says by Torah in Bechukas Hayteilechu Halicha. V'nei Ahavat Tzedaka Hashem kanoni reishes darkoi. Both have the word derech, halicha. But Torah hu omer v'nasati shalom ba'aretz. The result of Torah is shechavtem ve'ein machrid. U'tzedaka ne'ema v'hoya maset tzedaka shalom. Hashket v'vetz. V'yoshav avim v'nei shalom v'mishkanas mitachim v'nuchas v'shanais. Both have the same impact. The impact of tzedaka is the same as the impact of Torah. Next one. Gedolat tzedaka shehat Torah nimshal al tzedaka. The same as a person embraces Torah, a person should embrace Tzedaka. There's nothing as great in the world that Hashem has created more than Torah. Lovely psukim, ladies. Look at these psukim here. What happens when a person takes hold of Torah? Sal Saleha. Anybody know what that means? No. Sal Saleha. Touch it, hold on to it, finger it. And it will raise you. Techabdecha. it will honor you. Ki sechabkeno, when you embrace it. If you hold on to Torah, Torah will lift you and raise you and give you honor. Titein leroshcha levias chein. If you give to your head chein, ateres tiferes temagencha. Temagencha, you will be receive a crown of honor through Torah. HaTorah atzma eina nidmeis ela l'tzedaka. Shenema u'tzedaka tihiyeh lonu. Makes a comparison of tzedaka to Torah. Both have the same ability to lift a person up and raise a person in importance. Gedolah tzedaka shehima maheres v'yemos David haMashiach haGeula, brings on the Mashiach. The koyach of tzedaka is to bring Makarev the time of Mashiach. Shimu mishpat batzu tzedaka ki karoi v'yeshuasi lavai. It brings closer the Geula. It's a kosi lehigoloi. Gedolah tzedaka shehimala es hanashama v'nois natachas kisei hakovod. The person who is involved in tzedaka has closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hoylech tzedaka is v'doiver mishavim. Last one is a beautiful story. Look at this, the bottom paragraph. Ma'aser b'chosid echad. Chofetz Chaim brings the story. Shahoya rogil b'tzedaka. There was a certain chosid who always was careful with tzedaka. Pam achas holach v'yoshav basfina. This man went on a boat. He was known to be about tzedaka. Boha ruach, a wind came on the boat, but tibas finosai, and his boat drowned. His boat sank, overturned, capsized. Ra'uhu Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva happened to be standing at the side on the coast, and he saw the boat capsize. Uva ifnei Beistin, and Rabbi Akiva came and told Beistin, Lahoyid al Ishtoi, to tell that the man's wife could marry. V'yinosei. She wouldn't be an aguna. Rabbi Akiva said, I saw the boat capsize and the man died. Ad shelo higia eis lamoid. By the time Rabbi Akiva had already arrived at the Beistin to tell them that the man had died, Bo oisai ish v'omad lafonov. The man was already in front of Beistin. Omar loy. Ma'aser shahaya with Rabbi Akiva. The man was already there in Beistin. The man who was on the boat which capsized. Omar loy, said Rabbi Akiva to him, Atahu shetabata bayom, my dear friend, are you the man who was on that boat? The boat capsized, no? Omar loy, hey, yes, I was on the boat. Umi helacha min hayom, please tell me, how on earth did you manage to survive? Omar loy, tzedaka she'osisi. I gave tzedaka he'elisani min hayom. Because of the schus of the tzedaka, I was saved. People know that sometimes, no? Old people know. We'll come on to it in a second. But besides what the Maises brought down here, so where is it? Ahavas Nosten. Yes, Ahavas Nosten. Besides this Maises which is brought down, people sometimes know why they're zeicha to certain things. No? Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky was asked, how come you were zeicha to Shavichas Yomim? No? Rabbi Yaakov said straight out. It's Kol Yomai. I was very, very careful of MS. I was super careful about MS. I never told it. As much as I could, I never ever told the sheker. So with Yaakov Kamenetsky told. No, but obviously by Gedolim, by Tzadikim, they know. They know. This is the koyach of a Tzadik. Yaakov Kamenetsky said that. Another person turned around and was asked in the Gemara, how come you lived such a long time? No, because I was Shaloi Hikpadati B'Soich Beisi. I never made my house like a penitentiary. I didn't make my house into a strict asylum. Do this and do that, or else I'll give you. I'm the balabos here. You listen to me. I never behaved like that. Gemara, shall he capacity to say basic?
Also, the Lashon says that the Chofetz Chaim was like he died when he was almost 100 years old.
Right, because of schus. They know. People know. They know why. This man said, "I know why. I was saved from this ship because I was careful about tzedakah." Schus of tzedakah. Let's just finish. Omar loy me'ayin ata yodea. So now the Akiva asked the man, "How did you know that?" Omar loy ksheyiradeti lema'amaki metzula. When I was drowning in the water, shamati koil rash godol migalei hayom. I heard the noise, meaning of the Beistin of Shamayim. I heard them saying, "Shazu oimer lazu, v'zu oimer lazu." Everybody I heard talking about me. Rutzu v'nale es oish hazeh. Save this man min hayom. She'osa tzedakah kol yomah. No. The man heard in Shamayim, as he was about to die and drown, he heard them calling out, this man is a man who does tzedakah. Tremendous koyach. V'oisa shoro posach Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva said, V'omar, Baruch Elokim Elokei Yisrael, Shobocha b'divrei Torah b'divrei Chachomim, shedivrei Torah b'divrei Chachomim kayomim heim la'olam u'l'omei olamim. Shenema, Shalach lachmocho al pnei hamoyim. Why? Mamash exactly this ma'isa. Throw your bread on the water. Ki b'roiv hayomim timsa'enu. Because in the many seas you'll find them. Mamash exactly that. The man was saved from the water. In the schus of his tzedakah, he was saved. Tzedakah tatzah mimovis. Last one.
I don't understand the shlach machal.
Meaning literally, lach machal b'nei hamayim. He was in the water. It means give out your money for tzedakah. The meaning of shlach machal hamayim, give out your bread for the poor. And this was literally, the man was saved in the water through his tzedakah in the water.
The next part of the
We learnt already. Tell me what it's all about.
and then we did the footnote.
So tell me what the footnote is all about as well then.
Where the bracha comes from.
Explain.
Like that, like if whatever that someone who gives tzedakah, they have like a choice. They like whatever you work unto yourselves to do the mitzvah, and then if you do it with like in your heart, you're very happy and everything, then that's like a real chesed, and then Hashem gives you bracha. But if you don't do it, if you don't do it happy, then you're not going to get the bracha. So you bless it.
What's the diak in the pasuk? Tell me exactly the words in the pasuk which show that. How do you read the pasuk? It's in the top here. Nosan titein lai. V'layera b'vavucha. Ki biglal adov hazeh. What's the biglal adov hazeh going on?
The biglal adov hazeh was the v'layera b'vavucha.
Wonderful.
That's where the bracha comes from.
Good, exactly. In other words, you should know the bracha comes from the smile, from the kindness. That's where the bracha comes from tzedakah. Al-Kain, Yischazek, top of the page, Reish Kof Aleph. Yischazek Odom Tomid Bezu HaMitzvah, always be Mischazek with it. V'yovi Bracha L'Beis Beisai, Mivat Socha HaTzofen Lo HaNetzach, apart from the reward a person gets. Ladies, the reason really I went through this chapter was really only one thing. When you are married and you are with your husband, and you sit down with your husband at the table and decide how much money to give to tzedakah or whatever, at least you'll have behind you the das to know the chashivas of giving tzedakah. Where it goes to, we're going to do that in the next page. How much you should give, also. How much you should take off, a maisa or a chaimish, whatever it is. You have to know, and sometimes it could be that your husband has never seen this. He doesn't know the chashivas of tzedakah. And maybe you have to be the one who pushes it a little bit more. You should know you're not allowed to give without your husband's reshus. The money is under his control. But you should know, you should show him these chazal. Often happens with couples. One wants to give and one doesn't want to give. If you have an argument or discussion, you should go to a rav to solve it. But at least you should bring up the chashivas, how important it is, especially with money you get as a chosman kala. Chosman kala money definitely needs maisering, except if it's given for a purpose. Someone turns around and gives you $10,000 to make all your fittings in your house, and only for that and nothing else, then you don't have to take maiser money. You can only use the money for a purpose. But we'll come through all this now in this period. But if you have money to decide what you want to do with it, it's a chiyuv tzedakah. Yeah.
You know, you said the Chofetz Chaim took all the chazals literally.
Yes.
So that means that, like, let's say he would embarrass him, he would really consider himself a rotzach, like.
If he would what?
Embarrass him, but he would really consider himself a murderer.
Yes, shvichas damim.
That means that he really.
I'm quite sure he never embarrassed somebody.
Also,
It means he took them to the point of practice, not just a might, not just a statement, practically.
Right, and also on this kind of side note, but he said that, or Chaim said he never told a lie, and he will say he never did this or never did that. Like, and also one time I heard that.
I want to say, I just want to qualify what you said. I didn't say that he never told. He was very, very careful about it. He wasn't a malach, but he was so careful in his life about it.
Because I heard also one of my teachers last year said that Moshe Mendelssohn said on his said that he never hurt anybody. So I was like, how can a person really know? Like, I don't know. How can a person know if that they never did things that? How can they be so?
I don't know. There's a story of Moshe Feinstein going to avoid someone to discuss it as, and he was very, very old and very sick, and he wasn't going anywhere. And people said to him, "Why are you coming to learn?" And he said that because he said something or did something about that, he felt like hurt this boy when it was still content. Now I could ask him.
Possibly have the rabbi wrong. Maybe it was Ramosh Ben Sina, but I think it was. Maybe I'm wrong. But how can a person literally never did something or always did something?
Consciously. In their conscious, they will always
get.
That
conscious is possible. I guess it's possible.
Why not? Why not? Let's start halachas, ladies, okay? You have to stay away from this part now, because remember, it goes into inyanim of maisa money, maisa ksofin. It's very important for you to know this inside. Inyan maisa ksofin b'chol pratav. Here will be explained all the dinim about maisa ksofin, taking off money. V'ata, and now. Novoi levore eze derech yovoi ha'odam l'seis yidei chayvas mitzvahs chesed b'tminus. Here is a way that a person is duty bound to be careful about the mitzvah of chesed always. Hinei lo'el b'prokim she'ovar ovru. In the previous chapters, be'arnu, we've explained the toiv sheyafrish ha'odam mo'ois sheyihye muchan lemitzvah zu. A person should take off money which is available for this mitzvah. Meaning, you should have money available. One second. How can you suddenly take off money? It's very burdensome. If all of a sudden you turn around to me and say, give me $5,000 for tzedakah, you haven't got 5,000 tzedakah. Turn around to a person and say, where's your money? Can you give money to this oni? Where does the money come from? It's very, very heavy to do that. It's a tremendously difficult thing to take off money from tzedakah. Here. So that it's never hard for you to have tzedakah money available. Toiv, it's a good thing. Sheyalgiles atzmai. You should get yourself used to doing the following. And ladies, you should do this already now. Lahafrish maisa, to take off a tenth. Mikol masheyazmin la Hashem revach ve'elov, immediately. Don't leave it in the bank as a chayiv. As you get it, take off maisa money. Have it ready. Have it there. Some people I know have an account, a Maisa account, a banking account. As the money comes in, take off Maisa and they deposit a tenth in the Maisa account. You have the money there. Don't leave it as a chayv on your head, because once it's on a chayv, you'll say, no, I'll sort it out. As you get the money, literally, as you get the money in your hands, take off Maisa, and therefore you'll have money in an account.
Like people say that every midah has a good side and a bad side. So is this maybe the good side of like impulsivity?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But let's say like you're in seminary or like you're away for like a year or something like that, and you need whatever money you need. Like you can like use the money, like you can use the money and then like eventually like pay the money. So like not. It's not
ideal. He says it's not ideal. Chofetz Chaim is saying it's toy. Let's look at the words again. Sheyal is atzma lahafrish ma'isa mikol ma'asa yasmin. As it comes in, don't leave chayvos of ma'isa. Better not to have chayvos.
Okay, so pretty much.
I try to do that. I try very hard. Because I remember learning this too. Take it as it comes, because otherwise the Yetzer Hara does wonderful things like that.
But even if you need the money at the time, if you need like what...
It's not yours.
Right, but I'm saying like you'll owe them.
Oh, you can owe. 1 second. You can definitely... What I do sometimes, I can't afford to give the Maisa money. I need the money for something myself. So for that, you take out a book and write down, I owe money. That's definitely fine.
But you owe it. Like, when you're able to give it, then you'll give it.
Yes, definitely. But that's number 2. Number 1 is take it off straight away if you can. If you can. If not, I asked actually an Odom God about that. Sometimes when I had money, I found that I needed all of it. I couldn't take off Maisa at the time. He said, so long as you have a written cheshbon, but Tzukman, I asked him, give Hashem, Zecher Tzadik V'Vocha, Odom God L'Ma'ay, Talmud L'Chofetz Chaim. He told me just every time you have anything, make it written down, and you see in front of you what the chayv is. Even at the time you can't do it. It's b'di'evet. It's not the chatchila. But b'di'evet, at least you know your account.
Right, and eventually
you'll pay. Hopefully, you'll pay it off. And you should really also have, if you can, like a time when you're going to have it all paid off, like Rosh Hashanah or Erev Pesach or something like that, when you need to give money out for Aniyim or Purim. Have it so that you're. If you can, don't let it just linger and linger and linger, but you have a chayv and a chayv. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you can't. But at least, he told me, at least you've got it written down.
You can give him most of money for on Purim time, or like
together with you. It's a separate thing.
you can't give it as
No, it's a separate chayiv. You have a chayiv of giving matanos levyonim, which has got nothing to do with tzedaka.
More money.
Yeah, you can take your tzedaka money and add it on to matanos levyonim, but you can't take ma'isa money and call it matanos levyonim. You can't do that. It's a separate chayiv. Apart from taking ma'isa money, you also have to give matanos levyonim as a separate cheshbon.
Right, so give 2 people, and then also like you can give your
add on your ma'isa money. Exactly. Yeah, you had a question?
If someone asking for you the meiser money.
Why not? A shliach.
Yeah.
In what
If
capacity?
you're wait, like now.
Right.
And give meiser.
Whose money is he giving though? He's giving his money?
No, your money.
Fine, a shliach. Definitely. A shliach can actually. Definitely. You can even send a shliach to get married for you.
What?
Definitely. Shliach Kiddushin. Shliach Kiddushin. Excuse me, I can't be bothered to go and ask this woman to become my wife. Would you please go and tell her that I can't be bothered, that I'd like to marry her? I hope, Manina, your husband doesn't do that to you. I give you a bracha that he doesn't do that to you.
Yeah, but like if the wedding's set.
When I turned around to my wife and asked her to marry me, I turned around to my wife and said, it's clear, she turned around to me, she said to me, I would like to be the first to wish you mazel tov. Yeah.
So like if the wedding is set and something is delayed, like for real long time, you got the shliach.
Definitely. I mean, it doesn't mean nisuin. There are 2 things, no? Erusin, nisuin. You with me? Erusin is... Erusin, ladies, when you stand under the chuppah, 2 things you're going to get. Erusin and nisuin. What are the 2?
Isn't it Tanaim?
Erusin is what? You have to know 2 things to get married. In the times of the Gemara, they did Erusin and then came back 2 or 3 months later and did nisuin.
Take the getting
Erusin is money. Erusin is the ring. Erusin is Harei Ab Mekudeshes. Mekudeshes is money. Money. A woman is miskadeshes by the money, by the ring. She takes the ring. She's what's called an arusa. They cannot live together. They cannot live together. Erusin you cannot, but he has responsibility for her. Nisuin is yichud or ksuba. That's called nisuin. Nisuin. 2 things, Erusin and nisuin. That's why there are 2 brachas, 2 kaiser shabacha. You with me at the chuppah? Asher asa lanu es arusas v'hita lanu es anasuas lanu al yidei chuppah v'kiddushin v'kadesh es Am Yisrael al yidei chuppah v'kiddushin, and they make a bari gofen. She drinks. That's Erusin. That's 1 thing. That's the first part of getting married. That's happened through the ring. Harei Ab Mekudeshes li, but that's the ring. Then they read the ksuba. And the reason why they read the ksuba is to separate between the first part of the ceremony, which is Erusin, and the second, which is called Nisuin. Nisuin is Sheva Brachas. Sheva Brachas and Bori Piyat Gofen, and that's when the chuppah comes in. You don't need the chuppah for Nisuin. For Erusin, the chuppah is there for Nisuin. Why? Because what's the chuppah? Hey, you don't know how to get married anymore. Not even how to get married. How are you getting married? You know how to get married. How are you going to get married? The chuppah is like a house.
Tanam was the one they do.
Chuppah is a house. Chuppah is his house.
When they used to get engaged, did they used to do the Tanam?
Yes, that's Erusin. That's Erusin.
But the Tanam is not done at the same time as the...
No. In their times, they did Erusin and Nisuin a few months later.
Right, but I'm saying...
We do it all under the chuppah.
Not the Tanam, we read the Tanam...
Correct, but I'm saying, when you stand under a chuppah as a kala, now, that chuppah is not there for the first part of getting married. The ring could have been done out of the chuppah. Right. But nowadays we do everything under the chuppah. That chuppah...
But not the Tanam.
No, that's part of the Erusin, the Tanoim.
But... So we do part of the Erusin out of the chuppah, and part of the Erusin we do in the chuppah, but we don't have to do it.
Correct. Now, but the nisuin, yes, has to be under the chuppah. Why? Because the chuppah is like the chassan's house. He owns it, and that's why he's standing there, and he brings her into his house, which is his rishur. You're right. There are other people.
this Friday, right? That they walk halfway and then the couple
Right, he brings her to his house, and then you make a bracha, and that's called nisuin. Eivusin has already nothing to do with it. You don't need the chuppah for Eivusin. You need the chuppah for nisuin. That's like his house. Goodness me.
Why do they do talis?
You know, talis is a minhag. Yeah.
Can you repeat again what it is?
Right, you need more than just repeating. You need sitting down and telling. Now you don't know how these things work. You have to know.
We have time.
You don't have time. No. Eivusin means money. Hareyat Mekudeshes is the tabat. The ring is money. Right? He has to give it, you have to take it, and you have to want to take it. Puts it in your hand. That's called an Isha Mekudeshes, which is the same as Ma'ureses, same word. Mekudeshes, Ma'ureses means engaged. No, he's responsible for you. He has to feed you, but you can't live together.
Right, so the ring says that I'm going to support you, I'm going to do everything for you?
Yes, that's also there. That's also included in that responsibility, but not living together. Living together as man and wife can only be after nisuin. That comes from sheva brachos and the chuppah and the ksuba.
Right, and
that's called nisuin.
What was the first one?
Eivusin. Eivusin is kedushin. Right, Eivusin. Okay, let's go on, ladies. Wow. I hope you girls get married. Not just find a shidduch. You need more than that. Okay, let's go on. Umizeh. So, what do you do when you have a big? You have someone knocking on your door. You don't have money available, says the Chofetz Chaim. Take off the money when you get it. Look carefully. Fourth line. Take off always the money, so you have it there. Now, this is what you should do with the Maisa money. So you took off, let's say, $100. $100 is Maisa money. Says the Chofetz Chaim, 2/3 should go to tzedakah. 2/3. He's suggesting here. Yes. Look. That's $60. 60 whatever, right? $100 you had for Maisa money.
2/3 of the
$2/3 of the $100.
Right.
He says he's giving an eitzah here.
You make 1,000. You take off 100 for Maisa. Now 2/3 of that.
Right now, madam. Right. So in other words, out of that $100 which is Maisa money, Chofetz Chaim you'll see what he says. He's going to give an eitzah here. 2/3 goes for tzedakah. Why? Give out 2/3 of it. Ushlish, you know what you can do with the third of your Maisa money? You know what you could do? Munach etzloi kedei lekayim bo midas hachesed. What does he mean? Make a gemach. You can use your Maisa money for making a gemach, which is until and on he needs it. Because you don't have to give all your Maisa money away straight away. Give out 2/3 of it, and the third, keep it for gemach, and make a gemach out of your Maisa money.
But I thought that's not good because it's needs it.
So that's the footnote. We'll have to go into that next week. Just let's finish this paragraph. Let's finish off this thing. And when you have a large amount, you don't need that much money. You don't need that much money in your gemach. In other words, make some of your Maisa money, but when you have more available, give it all out to Aniyim. But you could give out from your Maisa money and put it into a separate account for a Gemach, which is a beautiful thing to do. However, one second, if you say Michal, if you have people who are coming to the door and you see they need it, then don't make a Gemach, give it out straight away. But that's the footnote which we'll have a look next week.
Can't you use it for tuition or for school?
Definitely not. No, you have a chiyuv to give Maisa money to Aniyim. And little children, you have to educate them. Big children, then there's a shayla who use Maisa money. Little children is your own responsibility. We'll come into all these details next week again. Okay?